Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and let's talk about Uncharted, the movie. Now, if you guys been with me the past month and a half to 2 months, you guys will have seen that I've streamed Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have yet to get Lost Legacy, but I've streamed the first 4 Uncharted games, and it was a blast. Just being able to relive part of my childhood. So, I remember before I get into my review, when the Uncharted movie was released or announced, I was like, do we really need an Uncharted movie? Do we? Like, Nemo, did we really need an Uncharted movie since you're here? Wanted to stay in my spotlight. Did we need to have this movie? Nah. I'm in the camp where. Hold on. I gotta. Alright. You know how cats are like to put their butts in your face? Ooh, weird. Anywho. Even though I've seen the movie. And enjoyed myself while watching the movie, and my friend that I went to see the movie with in theaters enjoyed himself as well, I think Uncharted is one of those movies that, even though it's enjoyable, it's one thing that I think we could have lived without, is not having a Uncharted movie, because I feel like the Uncharted games are so good that they can stand on themselves without having a movie or TV show to lean on or reboot, whatever. If you get my meaning. The Uncharted movie does use elements of the 4 games into the movie. Like, Nathan has a brother, and in the games, it wasn't revealed that Nathan had a brother until the 4th game. And, in this version of Uncharted, the brothers were they're still living in an orphanage. They were pulling a heist, but they were caught. And apparently this was the Nathan's brother's third strike, so he was kicked out of the orphanage. And kind of like with the game, Nathan's brother did leave the orphanage. He didn't leave because he was with the police. He snuck out, and so that was a good idea, right? But in this version, Nathan believes that his brother is dead, and so Nathan, Nathan in this movie, it was confirmed that Nathan's brother would write to him sometimes, but at a certain point it stopped, and this version of Nathan was a bartender. He's still a thief, but he was a bartender, and we see as Nathan is flirting with this girl in a way, trying to light up her as well as lighting up her cigarette. He sneakily steals her bracelet, and in this version, that's how Nathan meets Sully, essentially, because Sully goes to Nathan's shop saying, "You can be so much more than what you are, and I'm offering that to you." In the game, Sully discovered or met Nathan because Nathan stole something from Sully, and Sully noticed, and essentially that's how Sully and Nathan Drake became friends. In this movie, it was just, yeah, I saw you. I'm gonna follow you at the bar. I got a job for you. Okay, great amount of money, paid. All you have to do is help me with this job, right? And then Sully goes, and Sully steals the bracelet that Nathan stole from the woman that he was talking to, and Nathan realized like Sully put a card in his pocket. So Nathan essentially goes to Sully's place, takes the bracelet back, and this treasure that kind of reminds me of something from like the third game, if memory serves me right. And Sully and Nathan talk, and they talk about their brother. Well, not their brother, Nathan's brother. And initially, um, Nathan agrees to work with Sully, right? But then we go to, and then pretty much the next scene was Nathan and Sully scouting out this like ball thing, like this building that will have this auction, and this auction kind of reminds me of the mission Sully, Nathan, and Sam. Sam is Nathan's brother, pulled in the fourth Uncharted movie. I mean game, sorry, in the fourth Uncharted game. I'm telling you, like they literally like pulled some moments from the four Uncharted games and placed like and used them as inspirations in this movie. And so after like a few days of studying and figuring out how to like steal this wrong cross that will help them get this treasure, they go to this ball, and Nathan has Sully get him a suit, and it's actually get Sully a cat, and I'm pretty sure this cat is a Himalayan cat. Guess I had a Himalayan cat. That was my first cat named Dusty. He was a year younger than me. He unfortunately passed away in 2008, right? And I believe that this cat that was shown in the movie was a Himalayan cat. So yeah, I couldn't resist but to like appreciate that little part, like that part more. Guess it's a Himalayan cat, as far as I'm aware. I think it was. I gotta do my research to confirm or if that's a Himalayan cat or not, but I just enjoyed seeing that cat in the movie. I don't know why, but I did. But long story short, we see the Himalayan cat. But then Nathan and Sully go to the auction where we see Antonio Banderas' character get out, and the reason why they're going to the auction is because there's this little cross that also works as a key later on, and Antonio Banderas' character believes that it's his birthright to get this key for himself. And Nathan, like, Antonio Banderas' character is portrayed as the bad guy of the movie, or the antagonist, if you will, of the movie. And truth be told, he's a bad guy for the movie, but he's not the bad guy of the movie. And it turns out that Antonio Banderas' character was really trying to honor his family's legacy, and I guess he was trying to get his father's approval, which never happened because his father was later, like in the movie, was announced or told us that Antonio Banderas' character was always a disappointment to his father. And so, like, returning to the ball, there's this black girl who's pretty much the Uncharted movies version of Nadine, and Nadine is this character from the fourth Uncharted game, but this woman is pretty much Nadine, but they just didn't call her Nadine. They have her short haired with a different name, and she can she's more of I feel like she's maybe more of a badass than Nadine, but she's pretty much the movie version of Nadine, and she waves, and Nathan gives him a little kiss, air kiss, and so he says you might want to watch out for her, and essentially the cross I was telling you about is an auction, right? It's up to Nathan to turn off the lights, which he didn't do, because of this Scottish guy came and attacked him, which Nathan essentially caused a distraction, allowing Sully to steal the key, and nearly leaving Nathan at the party. And we see as Sully is making his escape that this guy, the woman that I was just referring to, that's not the movie's version of Nadine. She essentially she has beef with Sully. She used to be his partner back in the day, and so Sully's able to escape, and Nathan was able to escape in time to meet up with Sully. And if you guys were expecting Sully to act similar to how he was in the games, then you guys will be disappointed, because this version of Sully is more selfish than the one in the games, and I feel like the ones in the games was more selfless and caring. Now, granted that this Sully does become selfless towards the end, it takes him a different path, if that makes sense. And so, long story short, Nathan and Sully essentially flies on a plane to meet Chloe. Yeah, Chloe's in this movie. I was hoping Elena was going to be in this movie, because Elena essentially was the elite female, if you will, that was with Nathan towards the beginning. Sure, Chloe was with Nathan, but she was only with Nathan for like 2 games, so 2 adventures. Elena was with Nathan on all 4 games. So I'm hoping... Actually, I'm going to finish that thought later. So, essentially, Nathan meets Chloe, and Chloe doesn't like Nathan, and she ends up stealing the cross from Nathan. So we get this little chasing, and Nathan essentially gets up to Chloe, convinces Chloe to work with him and Sully, and we find out that before the chase happens, that Chloe has the other key, and so we go to this church, which makes the team split in 2. Nathan and Chloe goes to one end, and Victor, Sullivan, Sully goes to the other way. And essentially, I'm kind of rushing through this a little bit. Nathan and Chloe finds one key and puts it in, which makes them nearly drown. And the other key, in order to stop the flooding per se, Sully has to get the other key, right? And but getting to that key hole isn't as easy as Sully thought, because the Nadine girl, who's not called Nadine, she pretty much comes in and fights with Sully. Well, he wins that fight, gets the key in, drops the key, and shortly after, Chloe backstabs Nathan. And through Chloe, which later on was he figured out the rest of the story from Sully that Sam died, and of course, Nathan doesn't take that seriously, like lightly. They get into this argument, and essentially, Nathan says, "I'll finish what my brother started, but after this, me and you, we're dead. No, we're not. Like, you're dead to me, and we're not playing this game anymore." And so Nathan goes and with Sully, they sneak into Antonio Banderas' plane, and by this time, Antonio Banderas essentially kills his father because gets tired of his crap, and so like Antonio Banderas has a plane that Nadine wannabe, and it turns out that essentially Nathan and Sully snuck in using like a trunk of a car that was brought onto the plane. And on the plane, Antonio Banderas' character gets murdered by the Nadine wannabe. And she looks for Chloe. And Nathan, Sully has a parachute. And Sully tells Nathan, "Get a parachute and follow my lead." Nathan does do that. He asks the Nadine wannabe, "Did you kill my brother Sam?" And initially starts this whole fighting action sequence that resembles most of an action sequence that was in the third game, I believe, when Nathan was fighting some people in a plane, and Nathan initially fell in the desert from a plane after this action scene in the games. On this version, it happened somewhat differently. Because, some of and the reason why I brought up the game is because some moments in this part does have, I want to say, callbacks to that part that I just mentioned of Uncharted 3. And, I kind of nerded out a little bit inside, like, oh shit, just like in the game. God damn it, and then I realized, God damn it, this movie got me nerding out. And initially, Chloe goes in the car, hits Nathan, they both jump in the water, use this raft, and they eventually go to this island, and we hear the classic Uncharted theme song play, and we see Nolan North, who voiced Nathan Drake in the games. And admittedly, that was pretty cool to see. I mean, I feel like it would have been like a wasted opportunity to not have Nolan North in the movie. So the fact that they did, I was like, okay, because I did expect him to be in the movie at some point, and I did expect it to be pretty much like a 5-second cameo, and the movie put me right to both. So it's like, okay, this was somewhat expected, and Nolan North literally referenced the game, saying after Nathan and Chloe's said that they just fell out of a plane, Nolan North said, "Funny, the same thing happened to me once." I was like, I know what you did there. Use Nolan North as your Stan Lee of this film, and I see what you did there. Role played. And essentially, Nathan used the letters that Sam gave him to So help him find where the Nadine wannabe is going, and he does. So he gives fake coordinates to Chloe, and Chloe goes off on her own and says, "I'm sorry, Drake, you're a good guy, but it's hard for me to trust you." And it turns out that Nathan did that as a way to see if it's sent her in the wrong direction as he goes in the right direction. And make it a long story short, Sully bumped like, and Nathan um reconnects, and they stop. There's this fighting sequence that happens. Um, it in terms of like it at this point it's the final fight. Sully flies this helicopter, and this helicopter it like has cables that are attached to this ship, right? And that's why there's this action scene, and the Nandine wannabe doesn't like that, and so like she tries to stop Nathan and Sully, and essentially there's this part where they beat their rivals, but the Nadine wannabe is the only one who's there trying to kill them. She's the only enemy left, and so Sully, he was going to go back for his money, which he got his gold or whatever, his treasure, right? But he initially shows compassion and saves Nathan by dropping the treasure on the Nadine wannabe, saving Nathan. And Nathan thanks Sully, but Sully can't hear him. And so Nathan says, "Let's get out of here." And as they were flying away, they see Chloe in the boat, and they have little discussions about that, saying, "Yeah, I gave her the wrong coordinates." And Sully praises Nathan for that. And essentially, you think that's the end of the movie, right? Nope. We get this little scene after the credit type deal, after that scene, of Sam in jail writing to Nathan. So we get that Sam is still alive. This setting up for a potential sequel to the Uncharted movie. And then we get an actual scene after the credits. And Nathan is talking to this guy who wants the ring that we see Sam give him earlier in the movie. And then Sully comes in with the iconic mustache. And that's usually the end of the movie. So, I know I kind of like rushed through this and kind of may have poorly explained this, but I have to say I enjoyed this movie. I really did. I I think my favorite part had to be the Nolan North scene. The acting was fine. I still think that Tom Holland looked too young for Nathan Drake. He, even though his acting chops are good, I still think that Nathan Drake should have looked a bit older. Like, if we're going to do a movie of Uncharted, I think that we should have had an older looking actor who to play Nathan Drake. And that's like the only gripe I had with Tom Holland in this movie is that he looked too young to be Nathan Drake. His performance is good, it's just he still has baby face, and Nathan Drake, he looked like he could be in his like late 20s, early 30s. Tom Holland looks like he could be in his like early 20s, late teens. And he's literally the same age as me, 26. I mean, Tom Holland looks great. It's just I feel like in terms of look, they could have got someone who was a bit older. In my opinion. But he did a good job. I feel like everybody that was cast in this movie did a good job acting. Like I said earlier, I think like I could have spent my lifetime not exactly having an Uncharted movie, because I feel like Uncharted is game series that could stand in, like, it's one of those game series that doesn't need a movie. But you know what game series that needs a movie? Sly Cooper. And I'm partially saying this because we were promised a movie in 2016, and it's like 6 years later, and we still got no Sly Cooper movie. And I'm butthurt over that, and I'm not letting that go until we have a Sly Cooper movie. Which we have a Ratchet and Clank movie, but not no Sly Cooper movie. Really? That's bogus. Really bogus. But I give the Uncharted movie a 7 out of 10. It was and the reason why I give it that is because it's a better movie than I thought it was gonna be. But again, it's not a movie I would like will be begging to, like, oh please, I must have this movie in my life. But I do recommend, if you guys hadn't watched this movie and are a fan of the Uncharted games, I think this is worth a watch through. Is this what I like? This is my second time watching this because I want to refresh my memory to make this review. But would I watch this again on my own time? Would I choose, like, if I was on Netflix again, would I choose to watch this movie again? Would I go out of my way to get this movie on DVD or Blu-ray? No. Honestly, no. I mean, it was a good movie, but unless it's like I'm at someone's house or with someone and they want to see the movie, then sure, I'll watch it. I'll sit through the movie again so I can watch it with that person who may want to watch it with me. But if I didn't have someone who wants to watch it, I wouldn't watch it again on my own time. I wouldn't. So, that's just me. I'm not, but in no way am I saying it's the worst, movie ever. Because it's pretty good. So, anyways, what do you guys think about Uncharted, the movie? Do you guys like it, dislike it, or anything about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for those of you who watched this review in its entirety. I know I kind of rambled a lot, and I do apologize. It's nearly 30 minutes, so I'm going to shut my ass up. Let you guys tell me how you guys feel about this movie in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you fellow mentions later. Later, taters.